Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I uploaded a video for you guys, but I thought it would be really appropriate to talk about the upcoming Mars retrograde, especially from an evolutionary perspective and also in context with Pluto and everything that Pluto has been doing this year for us in Capricorn. So if you're excited to learn more about why this Mars retrograde is so important for us and what is going to happen over the next 6 months, really, when Mars is in Aries, then definitely stay tuned. So since 2020 is all about coming out of the spiritual closet, I thought it would be amazing to film this video in my closet. Actually, not my closet. I'm in the US right now. I'm staying with friends, but anyways, so let's talk about coming out of the spiritual closet and the veils that are lifting right now and everything that is happening in 2020. It's been a crazy year already, but I intuitively feel, my psychicness tells me that the rest of 2020 will be even more intense. And I obviously looked into the astrology of things and know that we are having a Mars retrograde upcoming, and Mars is retrograde every approximately 2 years. So it's a really important period that we are having over the next 6 months when Mars is in Aries. Because of the retrograde cycle, he will spend more time in Aries, and Aries is his home sign. But that's not the only thing that is really important about this Mars retrograde. We also have to see that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and because of the retrograde movement of Mars, he again spends a lot of time in Aries, but he also goes twice through the whole zodiac sign of Aries. He goes forward, then he moves backwards, then he moves forward again. So it's a really long period that he spends in Aries. And at the same time, we have Chiron in Aries, really healing our own personal power. And Mars in Aries is all about being courageous, initiating life, initiating the purpose that you have in this life. And actually, Mars is, I always like to explain him as the little assistant of Pluto, and Pluto is our soul. So it's interesting how Mars in Aries is really supporting what Pluto wants us to see and wants us to do in Capricorn over this whole year and over this whole period that Pluto is in Capricorn. Because what is Pluto in Capricorn doing? He's reminding us of the fact that our world is not structured in a way that is in alignment with our soul, right? Our soul mission is not supported in the structures of the world that we have, right? And so Mars in Aries is really helping us to finally act on our soul mission on this planet, right? And before that can happen, we obviously have to see what is not in alignment. We had to have all of the structures crumbling, which is still happening. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that is really a process that we are going through globally, collectively, and it's not easy. And at the same time, all of that sounds amazing, but at the same time, we also have to see that there are challenges with Mars in Aries, because it can lead to anger, to rage, to being really, too impulsive and acting impulsively, acting out of rage, acting out of anger, because we finally realize that, we've been basically sold a lie and we've been living a lie and we've been giving our power away. But what we have to see is that we actually chose this, right? We chose to give our power away. Yes, of course, we didn't have another option, because that's how we are raised, right? We come to this planet and we basically are victims, so to speak, or we are dependent on our parents, and we are dependent on the school, we are dependent on the education system, and everything that we learn is that we are dependent on something outside of us, right? And the whole story of Pluto in Capricorn is also about learning to let go of the dependency on something outside of you in order to actualize your soul's mission, your soul's purpose, right? That's the desire that Pluto has in Capricorn. And again, Mars in Aries is really helping us to actualize that Pluto desire in Capricorn. And the interesting thing, astrologically speaking, is that while Mars is retrograde in Aries, we have Pluto at the very same spot that Saturn and Pluto met in January. And I will explain the astrological details more in depth on my podcast, because that's a better way for me to look at the chart, to explain it to you, because it's interesting. We have a Mercury retrograde actually while Mars is retrograde. And the interesting thing about the Mercury retrograde is that right now our collective north node, our collective destiny, right, is in Gemini. So Mercury is the ruling planet of our collective destiny, and Scorpio is the ruling sign of Pluto. So there's another connection right there, and we have a Mercury retrograde again coming up in Scorpio, right, while Mars is retrograde, while Pluto is at the same spot that Pluto was when we had the Saturn Pluto conjunction, and at the same time we also have the US elections coming up. And the interesting thing about that is that on election day, literally on election day, Mercury stations direct again, and the stationing period of a planet is always really significant. And now add to the fact that Mercury is the ruling planet of our destiny. So there are a lot of really important alignments coming up in 2020, basically from September, when Mars stations retrograde September 9 until at least election day, right? But probably even more, because we also have Pluto stationing direct again. We have again this Mercury retrograde period, and we also have really important illuminations for the full moons and new moons coming up. We also have new eclipses coming up at the end of November, and in December. So it's really a pivotal time, and the best thing for us to prepare ourselves is really to again check in with ourselves to see, okay, my soul purpose, my mission, my blueprint, so to speak, right? My soul contract with the universe is XYZ, right? You look at your astrology chart in order to know why you signed up to be alive during this time, right? What puzzle piece are you, right? What contribution can you make for the changing world, basically for restructuring the world? What is your task? And I'm filming this on the new moon in Leo for that very reason, right? When Mercury entered Virgo, home sign Virgo, because we have to see the details. We have to see that we are a tiny puzzle piece that actually has the ability to have a big impact in this world. We don't see it that way, but Mars retrograde in Aries will remind us of our power, of the importance of our soul's mission, right? And acting on that, because we've been sold a lie that our life is random, that everything that is happening is random, but it's not, right? And Mars retrograde hopefully reminds us all of our personal power, of acting on our personal power, of not giving our power away, but also of learning that impulsiveness and rage won't lead to a peaceful solution. So it's also about still being objective, still taking responsibility for the actions that you took or didn't take, right? But now it's up on you to take your power back, right? To forgive everyone else, to forgive the system, because the system is only the way it is because we agree to it. So it's up on you to let go of the agreement and agree to something new, but in a peaceful way. That's what we have to learn collectively, right? And a lot of people will be angry, but that's why, again, we have to get out of the spiritual closet and understand that we are all part of this whole community on Earth, right? And yes, there are systems that are crumbling. Yes, there's injustice, but the only thing to do, or the only thing that we can do, is to focus on our own soul contract, on our own contribution, because the more people do that, the more peaceful the world becomes, because we are all a puzzle, and every single individual is a part of the puzzle piece. And if everyone focuses on themselves and their own growth, we actually magically align together, right? We create this new world. So fighting each other, blaming each other won't lead to anything except for more fighting, more separation. We have to see that we have to come together. So that's my really big mission. So take your power back, right? Take your power back, reclaim your power, really look at the agreements that you have in your life, where you take your power away, where you agree to things, where you maybe don't want to agree to things anymore, where you can change your mindset, change your perception, North Node in Gemini, to the way, or in a way that is more aligned with your soul, right? Pluto. And ultimately, with this Mars retrograde, we will see that more and more people will spiritually awaken, right? But also act on their highest excitement, act on their soul contract, because that's what we are also cosmically, and you know, even when we think about our guides and our cosmic team in the universe, they're supporting us to do that, right? And everything in 2020 is really supporting us to step into our own light, into our own creation, because when the world and the system is crumbling, the only way for us to survive is to create something on our own, right? And that's actually, again, what our soul came here to do anyway. So even though everything seems heavy and everything seems challenging, we have to see that, right? We have to change our perception, North Node in Gemini, and see that it's actually a gift that we are experiencing right now. A gift that is helping us to break free from the limitations of the world, from the Saturnian limitations, right? Because we are restructuring the whole system. And that's a process. And we have to learn patience, right? Not be impulsive, Aries. But again, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac and Mars is retrograde there, it also means that we are creating a completely new world, right? Aries is the start of the world. We are creating a completely new world that is more in alignment with our soul. And that's how I see this Mars retrograde and the opportunity of this Mars retrograde. Again, there's always a highest and a lowest expression of every single transit, but if we focus on the highest expression, we live the highest expression and we live an example, right? We are an example for how it looks like to live the highest expression. So check in with yourself, reclaim your power, act on your soul contract. And if you don't know what that is, you can always reach out to me for a reading. You can tap into the podcast. I will definitely link it down below so you can also get more details about the transits and the, you know, specific alignments, because it's pretty mind-blowing. So I will definitely keep you updated on everything that is going on the podcast, The Magic Kathi Show, on my Instagram, where you have weekly forecasts of the transits. And if you would like to have a personal reading in order to see how everything is impacting you in your personal life, you can reach out to me as well. I would love to give you some clarity on your soul contract, but also on how you can take action, how you can be part of this changing world. And yeah, I would just love to empower you to take action and to help us all step in our magic and create this new crazy world. And yeah, just to hold each other together, support each other. And we definitely need your light. We need your light. Don't think your life is random, because it's not. You're here for a reason. You signed up for this period of time for a reason, and I would love to remind you of your soul contract.